after the first few warm-up sets, I think it'll still feel pretty good. Okay. Oh my goodness. Let's do normal pull downs. That was a good set, but I think I know why I haven't been doing this style before. This is back to my speed. But since I did that set already with the full stack, I don't have to do any warm-ups here. I can just jump straight into my working weight. Because I'm exposed to, heavy weights with my lats. So even though it's a different handle, it's the same basic movement. No need to waste time doing extra feelers if you don't need to. Oh my gosh. Let's go move on to a machine row. That was pretty good. This row is kind of funky, but I like it. I wish, well, no, it's a pretty good weight. I think full stack, and since it is a weight that I can handle pretty well, I want to make sure for the first few reps when I'm strong and fresh that I get an extra squeeze and hold and really try to, wrench it. But once I get weak enough that I can't really get, all the way to the top of the rep, I'll still get some partials in. You know what I need? A cough drop. That'd be nice right now. One more. Okay. All right, 2 sets of pull down style movements, 2 sets of rows. Let's go back to something lat biased. I'm thinking pullovers, but I'm also thinking, oh shucks, all the cables over there are taken. So let me do some calculations in my mind and decide where to go next. I think some single arm pullovers will be good. And since I'm kind of not really strapped for time, I mean, we're more than halfway done with the lift and it's only 8:36, but it kind of triggers my OCD in a way, because you got to think, if I sit here and I do a one arm movement, like if I do my right side first and I do like 20 reps, and I do 20 on the left. By the time that I move on to whatever the next movement is, my right arm got like an extra 30-second of rest, or my right side did. So that kind of makes me prefer, you know, double-sided movements, or at least like kind of rest pause style, which I'm gonna do here. So instead of just doing my whole right side and then my whole left, I'll do like 5 reps on the right, switch, 5 on the left, and then go back and forth like that. So apart from the fact that it's just a different style of set, which I want to change my training up set by set, day by day, whatever, it also just kind of makes me a little more comfortable. Because I know when I move on to the next set of pull downs or something, both my lats are pretty much evenly worked. And one isn't extra fresh from being trained like 30 seconds earlier. Now, I might just be nitpicking, but that's just what's going on in my brain. One more. Okay. Okay. I think that's enough of that. Another cue that I always try to think about on any kind of back movement, be it rows, pull downs, pullovers, whatever, is as I get to whatever the straightened position is, I want my shoulder blades to stretch out as I'm doing the rep. Like if I'm doing those pull downs, you know, pull down, whatever, but as I'm coming up, I want my shoulder blades to open up like I'm doing a fucking lat spread and then contract. Same thing with rows. I want them to really open up and then contract. And then obviously same thing with these pullovers. Open up, contract. If you can kind of imagine that going on your with your scapula, get some scapular retraction, image training, you'll be able to do the sets better, you know? I feel like being able to, I did a whole rant about this in the last post-lift car talk, being able to kind of envision your anatomy while you're doing your sets, I swear you're going to be a better lifter if you can figure that out. So, whatever, keep that in mind. But let's move on to, I don't know. Really, at this point, I feel like I can do whatever. I could do some rows, I could do some pull downs. As long as I go hard, I know I'm going to finish off this lift well. I think some moderate weight seated rows will feel pretty nice. So with this set, I'm not just going to try to move around as much weight as possible and fatigue my back in that way, which I do like, but I'm going to be a little more methodical about it and really try to touch my elbows behind my back. Like as I get to this top position where I can't move the bar anymore, partially due to strength, but also partially due to the fact that, I mean, my lats are like literally getting in the way of my fucking range of motion. But as I get to that top point, when at least in the first few reps when I'm fresh, just like on those machine rows, I want to really squeeze, right, and feel my shoulder blades try to, you know, bump into each other in my, well, on my back. But enough of that. Let's just play something and hit it. Okay. Let's let's finish with a little bit of a drop slash superset. I guess I'll explain it in a moment. Like I was saying in the car, Now, I do want to finish the day with a full-on back pump. So doing this sort of combination style super slash drop set, that fills that ticket order quite nicely. So 5 reps on one side with these rows, 5 on the other, back and forth, until I feel like I've done enough. And then burn out with pull downs. And I mean, fuck dude, I like this shirt. I don't want to split it right down the middle, but that is kind of the goal. Not that I think it'll happen, but a healthy amount of delusion will help you have some good ass lifts. Okay. Oh, fuck. No. Okay. Oh my goodness. Let's get out of here, dog. Let's go check this pump. People are leaving, so the locker room's probably full. Let's just go pose down over here in the open air. I'd say usually pose down right in the weight section of a Planet Fitness. Kind of an asshole, but it's dead in here. You know, who cares? Whew. All right, let's get that exposure down just a touch. Run through some mandatory lat spreads and double buys, and get my ass back to the house to scarf down some treats. There's half of a birthday cake in the kitchen. It was nobody's birthday. I don't know why my parents bought it, but I think I'm no psychic, but in a couple hours, fairly certain that thing is going to disappear. And all those carbs, guess where they're headed? Right into these freaking lats, traps, probably a little bit of buys, just because even though I do use straps, which help a ton, it is a little bit tricky to keep your biceps completely out of your pulling movements. Even when you're, I'd say, an advanced lifter like myself. I'd go so far as to say semi-advanced. Oh. Oh. So you see that gap between my lats and my forearms? I want that to disappear. I want to get to the point where if I see a bear coming at me, I forget if it's... Fuck, what's that? Shit, I don't know. Is it you fight off a black bear, but you play dead with a brown bear? Either way, I want to get to the point where I see one coming. Let's just recreate this. Boom, scare him off. That would be nice. But, all right, let's keep going. Yeesh. All right, now just same thing in reverse. Oh. Oh my goodness. All right. Back has been completed. Back is pumped. Back's fatigued. Back has been trained in a way that I think when I go home and freaking fill my belly up with all sorts of carbs, fats, and proteins, that it's going to result in some muscle growth. Oh, but that should be obvious.